There was a man who decided to optimize everything. Not in the abstract sense, in the literal, quantifiable, spreadsheet-filling sense. He woke at 5 in the morning, every morning, because research said 5 was optimal. He measured his sleep in cycles. He tracked his water intake in milliliters. He knew his exact calorie deficit, his macronutrient ratios, his steps per day, his resting heart rate, his VO2 max, his body fat percentage, down to the decimal point. He had read all the books. He had watched all the videos. He knew that success was a formula, and formulas could be optimized. So he built a dashboard, a real one, digital, synced across devices. Every metric that mattered lived there. Productivity hours, gym sessions, reading pages, meditation minutes, income per hour. He color-coded them. Green meant he was winning. Red meant he was failing. At first, it worked. He could see his progress. The numbers climbed. He ran faster. He lifted heavier. He made more money. The dashboard was honest, objective. Unlike people, unlike feelings, unlike the vague sense that something was missing, the dashboard never lied. Or so he thought. Years passed, 5, then 10. He became the person everyone pointed to as proof that discipline works. Look at his metrics. Look at his consistency. He had optimized his life into a kind of perfection that could be measured and displayed. But somewhere in the middle of this, something very strange happened. The man stopped driving his life and became a passenger in it. He would go to the gym not because he wanted to, but because the dashboard showed a gap. He would skip dinner with friends because the metrics said he was behind on his workout hours. He would decline opportunities to travel because they disrupted his sleep schedule, and his sleep cycle was tracked, and every disruption was a red mark against him. The dashboard had started to optimize him rather than the other way around. Then one morning, he had a realization. It came from nowhere, unbidden. He was running at dawn, on an empty track, fog rolling around him, his heart rate data streaming to his wrist, his pace perfectly calibrated to hit his weekly mileage target. And he realized he could not remember the last time he had run simply to feel the air, simply to move, simply to exist in his own body without measuring it. The story of this man is not unique. It is the story of an entire culture that has mistaken the map for the territory. And at the heart of this story sits a simple principle that most people have never heard of, yet it explains everything that is going wrong with modern self-improvement culture. It is called Goodhart's Law. Goodhart's Law states this: when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. The statement is elegant, deceptively simple, and absolutely devastating in its implications. Here is what it means in plain language. The moment you decide to optimize for a specific metric, that metric stops being a useful indicator of what you actually care about. Instead, it becomes something to be gamed, manipulated, or chased at the expense of everything else. Consider the man and his dashboard. He decided to optimize for productivity hours. Productivity hours became his target, and immediately he began to engineer his life around those hours. He counted hours that maybe should not have been counted. He sat at his desk doing nothing but ensuring the timer was running because the dashboard demanded it. The metric had become the goal, and the original goal, to do meaningful work, had disappeared entirely. This is not a flaw in how he used the metric. This is the inevitable consequence of making something measurable your primary target. The metric will eat everything else. It is not greedy by accident. It is greedy by design. Because you have told yourself that this number represents success, and so you will feed it. In fitness culture, we see this constantly. Someone decides to optimize for scale weight, so they dehydrate themselves before weigh-ins. They manipulate their sodium intake. They do things to their body that are actively unhealthy in service of moving a number. The metric was supposed to represent health, but now it represents only itself. And health, the actual thing, is being sacrificed at the altar of the measure. In business, companies optimize for quarterly earnings, so they cut research and development. They reduce quality. They fire experienced staff and hire cheaper workers. The stock price goes up, the metric climbs, but the company, the actual organism, is slowly dying. No one notices until the quarterly report cannot hide it anymore. The man on his dashboard had optimized for income per hour, so he started only taking the most lucrative jobs, even when they bored him. He declined interesting projects because they paid less. He turned down mentorship opportunities because they did not generate immediate income. The metric went up and up and up, and year by year, his actual work became less meaningful, less aligned with any vision he had ever held, less like art, and more like accounting. This is the trap, and here is the insidious part. The track feels like success while you're in it. The numbers are real, the progress is real, you can see it, you can touch it. It is far more tangible than words like meaning, or purpose, or joy. So you keep optimizing, you keep feeding the metrics, you keep telling yourself that once they reach the target, once you have enough, then you will slow down, then you will be happy. But the target is not a place, it is a direction, and a direction has no bottom. No matter how many hours you log, there are more to optimize. No matter how much money you make, there is more to chase. No matter how fit your body becomes, there is always another metric to dominate. The dashboard does not want you to stop. The dashboard is not capable of satisfaction. And so the man optimized further. He added more metrics, sleep quality, not just sleep duration. He added meditation minutes, then meditation quality. He added social connections, how many meaningful conversations per week, ranked by depth. Now he could not even have a conversation without scoring it, without wondering if it counted, without feeling that it did not measure up. He had read somewhere that the best things in life are not quantifiable. But he had also read that unmeasured progress is just fantasy. So he had decided to measure everything, and in doing so, he had made the best things in life impossible. Because the moment you measure joy, you stop experiencing it. You start chasing the score. The worst part is that this is not a story about failure. The man succeeded. By every metric on his dashboard, he was winning. He was healthier than 90% of people his age. He was richer than 95% of people on Earth. He was more productive. He was more disciplined. He was more optimized. And he was hollow. He realized one day that he could not remember the last time he had done something inefficiently. The last time he had taken a walk without tracking it. The last time he had read a book that did not promise to improve him in some measurable way. The last time he had sat with a friend and just talked, without mentally scoring the interaction, without wondering if this time was being spent on the highest leverage relationships. The last time he had allowed himself to fail at something without logging it as data. The dashboard had replaced the driver. His life was now fully automated, fully optimized, completely measured, and completely removed from his conscious choice. He was no longer living, he was executing, and the more perfectly he executed, the less alive he felt. This is what self-improvement culture quietly deletes from a life. Not the bad things, the good things, the inefficient things, the things that make life worth living. A conversation that goes nowhere, a meal eaten without calculating macros, a day off spent doing absolutely nothing, a friendship that does not increase your net worth or your skill set, a hobby that serves no purpose except that you love it, a failure that teaches you nothing except humility. These are the spaces where life actually happens, but they cannot be measured. They cannot be optimized, so they are left behind, like abandoned rooms in a house that has been stripped for efficiency. If you are watching this, and if any of this resonates with you, if you have felt the weight of the dashboard on your own life, if you have turned genuine experiences into metrics and then chased those metrics until the experience was gone, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. There is more to come on this, much more about how to escape the tyranny of the measure. The question is not how to optimize better. The question is what you are willing to lose in the name of optimization. And once you ask that question honestly, you cannot unask it. You cannot go back to feeding metrics blindly. You cannot go back to believing that the dashboard is the same thing as the life. The man eventually made a choice. He deleted the dashboard. Not all of it. He kept enough metrics to stay healthy, to stay sane, to know where he stood. But he stopped optimizing. He stopped treating every hour like it was something to be squeezed for maximum value. He started taking walks that went nowhere. He started reading books that taught him nothing. He started saying yes to plans that were inefficient, that cut into his sleep, that disrupted his schedule. And something remarkable happened. His life became better. Not according to the metrics, those actually declined for a while. His productivity hours went down. His income per hour flatlined. But he started to feel present again. He started to notice things. He started to remember why he had wanted to optimize in the first place, because he wanted a better life, not a better spreadsheet. There is a place for metrics. There is value in tracking, in measuring, in pushing yourself to be better. But there is a line, and that line is crossed the moment the metric becomes more important than the thing the metric was supposed to measure. The moment the map replaces the territory, the moment the dashboard replaces the driver. Goodhart's law is not just an academic principle. A warning about what happens when you try to perfect your life without being honest about what life actually is. Life is inefficient. Life is unmeasurable. Life is full of things that cannot be quantified, but make it worth living. And the second you decide to optimize all of that away, you have optimized away the one thing you are actually trying to improve. The man is still alive. He still tracks some things, but now he knows the difference between a tool and a master. The dashboard is his servant, not his king. And that is the only optimization that ever really mattered. If this resonates with you, please like this video. It means a lot, and it helps others find this message. And here is my real ask. In the comments below, tell me, what is one thing you have stopped doing because it did not fit your metrics or your optimization goals? What is one unmeasurable thing that you miss? I want to hear from you, because you are not alone in this, and the first step to changing it is being honest about what the dashboard has taken from you.